And I think one of the underlying issues that we have here is the phenomenon I call the poisoned well. We've never, and to mention one thing that's so much better than it ever was, I mean, one of the greatest inventions of humanity has been social media. And I think you can judge, okay, it degenerates people's minds. If you look at little children, you can see it in their eyes that they're in a different place, and you sometimes wonder how healthy it is. But I think one of the reasons why we're so fascinated by the social media is because at one glance, we have a continuous, completely open access to information. And I think it's part of our DNA that we understand that knowledge, the wealth of knowledge is power. I think the issue that we have here is not that social media per se is bad. The problem we have with social media is that it's filled with crap intentionally to distract us from what could serve us.
It's noise.
Yeah.
Where we should have information. There was this word democratization of the media. Everyone can be a journalist. Everyone can be a writer also. And first of all, that's a very good thing to have and good thing to do. But the problem is, who are the people who make most noise there?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, one of these extremely noisy people owns one of these social media and uses it as a megaphone.
Yeah.
Someone I was very impressed of some months ago still. Found him so impressive. But it changed.
Yeah.
So, and how people behave towards that, towards these people, how they approach it. In the past, it was very, very clear. If a politician or if a business leader has lots of scandals, sometimes one scandal was enough. There was a scandal, this person has to step back from all positions, and this person can no more do this job in the future. Now today what we see is they're not only staying in the position, people praise them for that. And that's degenerated.
So I think it's the formulation that I might have objected. I think there's a lot of degenerative factors, and I think that's always been part of human society, is that a well-established society always has kind of this degenerative elements that kind of eat away at its foundation. And I would say, yes, that degeneration does have an impact on human minds, but I don't think that the wording, the degeneration of people's minds, I think people's minds are being degenerated by uncontrolled...
by noise.
Yeah.
By noise. It's this noise that is all around us. It's so... We are here in Austria. Austria, the political situation is driven by noise at the moment.
Absolutely.
Reasonable politics at the moment are very, very hard to implement because there is so much noise around. And that's what I mean. It's this noise.
It's also the weaponization of information. It used to be
disinformation.
Also of information. I'll give you an example. I mean, there's a lot of issues in the United States that you can discuss politically. But I found I was looking at YouTube the other day, and I noticed a couple people of American and British descent commentating on Austrian politics, and I'm like, what the heck are you guys? You guys are painting it like we're going under here. Yes, it's not a happy situation, but it's not much worse or better than it is there. So I mean, who the hell are you? I mean, I always find it interesting that that Americans are concerned about the politics in Denmark or Sweden or Austria, where it's quite honestly, your political situation is 10 times worse. So I think the weaponization of information in the sense of where you're focusing on and how you exaggerate information is a big issue as well.
I think it's again about this scarcity of attention. Attention is the scarcest resource of all. This applies for everyone. And as soon as people put a lot of attention on a topic that they find interesting or that captures their emotions, they don't have enough attention available to look at the things that are really valuable and that are worth to be looked at.
I think we've done a fairly good job navigating the sentiment that most people feel out there, whether you agree with some of our personal opinions of the situation or the examples that we choose. I think most people would agree that we live in a time of volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity.